Hello there and Cthulhu. Welcome to a new episode of my series on Lovecraftian games, where I take a closer look, or a first look, at games that are heavily, or maybe just a little, inspired by the works of H.P. Lovecraft. That whole idea got started during a Steam sale for Lovecraftian games, and so I picked up a bunch of them. I thought I had a bunch of them, but there were so many more. So let's take a look. And the game I would like to take a look at now is Arkham Horror Mother's Embrace. I don't know much about this game. I know that the reviews on Steam are rather mixed. I know it's a turn-based strategy game, and it's based on a board game, which I never played. So let's try this out and start a new game. Shrewd advice: your progress is recorded in the notebook. Remember to check on it from time to time. So let's take a look. Tutorial. You're an investigator. Welcome to Arkham Horror Mother's Embrace. Who will be your investigator for this new adventure? So we have some different stats. How it increases range for the group's magic and range attacks. Sounds pretty good. With doctorates in both history and archaeology, as well as expertise in ancient languages, Harvey Walters is one of my most friendly and helpful colleagues at Miskatonic University. Yeah, the fan service is strong in this one. He has certainly been of use in answering my questions about pagan culture's understanding of astronomy. His own studies remain a mystery, as he refuses to discuss them even with his colleagues. So what else do we have? He's got weak initiative, weak melee attacks, ranged attacks are average, and so is magic.
Move aside, boys. It's my turn.
Okay, so this is the dilettante. Jenny, as she prefers to be called, is the elder daughter of my friend the Barnes. Despite her natural intelligence and all the advantages her upbringing provided, she never seems to focus on a single pursuit. She prefers to dabble in literature, history, archaeology, and virtually any other subject that crosses her path, never gaining expertise in any one. Okay, so this game apparently is trying to be a little funny. Not with much success so far, but let's see what happens. Her special skill, or whatever it's called, I do what I want. Jenny cannot be inflicted with the restraint condition. So here's Jim Culver, the musician, increases the group's members' mental resistance. Jim Culver plays his trumpet at Velma's Diner. He inherited the instrument from his father, who played in nightclubs I visited in my younger days. From what I heard, Jim's father passed along not only the trumpet, but also his talent. Of course, people exaggerate, but the gossip is that Jim's playing made the widow Jenkins leap up out of the coffin and dance at her own funeral. Nonsense, of course, but it is the sort of story that makes the more superstitious residents of Arkham avoid Velma's Diner when he's playing.
I'm ready to investigate.
So we've got Kate Winthrop, the scientist, has a reduced chance to trigger traumas during investigations, which probably is good, but since I haven't played the game before, I don't know how good that is. She remains a virtual stranger to me. Even before the death of her mentor, Professor Young, she seemed only shy. Since the tragedy, she has become so lonely and aloof that our colleagues often forget her name. Perhaps it's just as well, since she speaks of Young's death in the unlikeliest of terms, imagining that bizarre creatures from another world devoured him. Most understand this reaction to be the result of emotional trauma, but it has driven her to the most unusual research. We got Sifina Rousseau, the painter. Sifina heals a group more when using healing items or spells. When it comes to investigation, manual, and social. And just like the first character, weak on initiative and melee, and average with ranged and magic. A Tahitian artist of extraordinary talent, Safina Rousseau makes more money for reproductions of others' work than for original paintings. I can understand why, having seen her perfect recreations accurate down to the tiniest brush stroke. I myself am fortunate enough to have a copy of Edward Hopper's House by the Railroad in my office. Unlike her reproductions, these paintings seem almost real, like a photograph, but with perfect color and depth. William Yorick the Gravedigger. Mental resistance 60%. William has more chance to resist negative condition effects. Physical guy, strong melee and strong initiative, average range of magic. That already sounds like one of the stronger characters. Has long desired to make a name for himself on the stage. Alas, having seen him in a performance of the Scottish play, I fear he shall never distinguish himself on the boards. To earn a living, he turned to work as a gravedigger, and no one can say he shies away from hard labor. Some do say, however, that in the lonely hours after a funeral, William performs scenes for the dead. Whether or not they appreciate his performance, no one living can say.
I heed the Lord's call.
And finally, Zoe Samaras, the cook. Her melee attacks deal more damage. And yeah. Strong on initiative on a melee, such a tragic life like Zoe Samaras lived. She was only 6 years old when her parents perished in a fire. Thankfully, her embrace of religion gave her the strength she needed to persevere. She has made a decent living for herself as a chef, but there were persistent rumors that she released the Lord speak directly to her, encouraging her to combat the wicked after hours. I hope for her sake that this is only pernicious gossip, but no one can question his sense of justice. So, I am undecided whether I want to go for the Gravedigger or for the Professor, but I do believe I will go for the Professor. So, let's pick that character and then go ahead. So, once again, his specialty seems to be searching, and his traumas are inaccurate, algophobia, and self-mutilation, whatever that means. So, let us continue. Yes, I am sure. Remember that if you leave an investigator in the office for a whole chapter, they can rest and recover from a trauma.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Wilhelmina Tillinghast, Professor of Astronomy at Miskatonic University.
Add a piece of fan service if I've ever seen one, Tillinghast.
Myself to the study of celestial objects. Most recently, I visited Louisiana to observe the passage of a comet I had observed for many years. I hoped the trip would provide me with the evidence required to conclude my decades-long research. Yesterday, you received my telegram requesting that you meet me at my house, just outside Arkham. And so, you've decided to join me in my mansion.
Astronomy was always Wilhelmina's special passion. But now she wants to consult with me. I wonder whether it's my knowledge of history or archaeology that interests her. Or could it be the occult?
Welcome to my mansion, my friend.
So, first of all, is that the way he talks to himself? I mean, it does sound a little bit like that. Byzantine Lovecraft writing. But, yeah, and where's she talking from?
Better ring the bell.
Okay, camera controls move with the typical WASD. Okay.
At my age, it can be hard to answer the door quickly.
Well, he sure waited a long time. Or certainly not.
Rude of me to make you wait like this. I wonder whether something's wrong.
There's a light coming from that second-floor window. She must be home.
Or she forgot to turn off the light.
I'd better see if she needs help.
Each scenario has a set of specific objectives to complete to progress to the next scenario. These objectives are displayed in your notebook and are updated as you complete them. Press L to access the notebook, because of course L is the most obvious letter to open your notebook. Yeah, I guess it's lock. or click on the notebook icon on the bottom left of the screen. So, find another way in. Right, yeah, I figured. Okay. The front door is locked, seems to be locked from inside. Okay. I can't walk up the stairs. The engine appears to be cold. Okay. Gate is shut. You came in from the other side. The countryside here would be lovely for a long walk when the weather's fine. Not like today. Alright. Oh, I can actually walk through these hedges. That's good to know. Basement must be behind this trapdoor, but you have no reason to go in there. The professor's waiting for you. Well, I thought I was supposed to find another way in. Because yes, she was waiting for me, but she doesn't open the door. So when I try to go in through that trapdoor, the game says nope, you have no reason to. Box beneath the first floor window seems to invite you to take that way inside, but it looks to be shut tight.
It's no problem to reach the window, but it's shut tight. I'd need to smash the glass to get inside.
I hope you aren't thinking what I fear you're thinking.
What I need is something heavy to smash this window.
Alright. Here we see some gardening tools. I guess that's the heavy thing it needs. And I love how the game says something like, you know, that would be a way inside. And then he says, well, that's a way inside. Some interactions with objects may ask you to choose the best action out of several possible actions. Those are called complex interactions. So the complex decision I have to now make is look through it or take a quick look. I found wire cutters. And now that I've taken the wire cutters, I cannot take anything else from the tools. Which of course does make sense. Well, I've got wire cutters. Maybe I can now throw those wire cutters at the glass. I can. Nice.
How dare you smashed my window? I hope you intend to have it replaced.
I can't imagine Professor Tillinghast will begrudge my breaking a window pane if it means helping her. Now what trouble is she in?
It's fun to listen to two different conversations. You don't recall the professor mentioned that you could play? Judging from the dust on the instrument, you doubt it sees much use. Maybe that's why she said she doesn't play. A large painting of a comet hurtling through the night sky. It seems the professor's interest in astronomy colored her taste in art as well. So, I kind of like the vibe with that room and the decorations and music.
A broken vase. The professor must have heard it fall. She wouldn't have just left it here.
I certainly would not. I take pride in a clean and tidy abode, especially when expecting visitors.
Can't wait
I'd
to
better find her.
figure out why I'm hearing her thoughts. Okay, so since that the lights on the second floor are there's a light going there. Let's examine. If your investigators have the knowledge required, they will offer advice on the best course of action. If this is not the case, they will tell you nothing. Well, that's really unrealistic. people who don't say anything if they don't know anything about a certain subject, right? I'm being sarcastic, I know. Shards of some fragile object, now shattered, lie on the ground. Perhaps it's a clue. An unsuitable action makes the Mythos clock go faster. The Mythos clock. Okay, so let's try to put it together. Closer inspection reveals it was a vase, which is what he said when he saw the shards. He said, wow, broken vase. Based on its position, you think it fell from the small table nearby. Since the fragments are free of dust, you deduce it broke recently.
That scream came from upstairs.
That sounds like my voice. I must need help.
Professor, was that you?
Of course it was. Hurry!
No answer. There must be someone else in the house. I ought to find a weapon.
Well, how convenient that there's a weapon laying right in front of me. Certain events will force a sanity check. Each investigator's mental resistance score determines their chance of success to resist it. When sanity reaches 0, the investigator in question suffers from a trauma, which gives them a penalty. So that's a Darkest Dungeon mechanic, right? Where you get these perks or debuffs. Little tape is full of items. Perhaps searching them will turn up one that's useful. So let's look through it. And we find a knife. Select the weapon by pressing enter. Then move your cursor to the empty slot and press enter again. Can I just use the mouse? Why can I not use the mouse? Ah, there we go. Close the inventory by pressing the backspace button or right click on your mouse. Cool, I've got a knife.
That knife might come in handy if I run into trouble.
Yeah, that was what I was thinking. That's why I picked up the knife. Or maybe if I get attacked by menacing closed envelope. So let's go upstairs.
The scream must have come from the other side of this door.
That's my office door.
It's closed. Clue editor notebook. The office door is locked. All right. So, is there... What just happened? Why can I see this fog through the door? Okay. Let's see if there's anything else we can do. Maybe there's another way around. I'm in the bathroom. The reflection gazes back at you from the scrupulously clean bathroom mirror. So the mirror does mirroring. That's good to hear. The well-built cabinet is locked shut. So, force open or force lock? I have no idea. Let's force open. And the Mythos clock moved. To your investigations, you may draw the attention of great old ones. This is called Mythos. The Mythos clock builds up each time an unsuitable action is chosen during a complex interaction at the end of a full round of combat. When the Mythos clock is full, great old ones will intervene to slow you down. Be on your guard. So Cthulhu is gonna come for me because I tried to open that cabinet. Move it. And now I've got bandages. Healing 12. So let us examine further. This door doesn't lead to where Professor Tillinghast is. Well, neither did the bathroom door, but still I could walk through it. This door doesn't lead to where Professor Tillinghast is. But it's okay to look at some pictures. Painting of cats. Old ladies tend to like cats, but you do admit it emits a sense of calm. Okay, so I guess if I walk this way, it will tell me that this door... It didn't say that this door doesn't lead to Professor Tillinghast. Toys are laid out around him so carefully to doubt a child ever touched them. Great. And I cannot turn the camera. Why? Because I don't know. I also cannot... now I can reach the crib. Guess my sanity is about to go down. It is a detective guy.
Who's there?
I'll ask the questions. Roland Banks, Bureau of Investigation. I'm on the job. Who are you, and what's your reason for being here?
What would a federal agent want with me?
Professor Harvey Walters, longtime colleague of Professor Tillinghast. She invited me over to discuss some project of hers, but she didn't answer the door. I came upstairs when I heard that terrible scream.
Seems like I'm on the right track. Something hinky's going on here.
Hinky. Yeah.
I assure you, Wilhelmina's reputation, both professional and academic, is utterly unimpeachable. You're investigating the wrong suspect.
She's only a person of interest. The Bureau has evidence that others are trying to involve her in some I came to find out what she knows, if anything. Then I heard the scream, too. Seems we need a key to get inside that room.
I'm glad I've got an investigator here to solve that for me.
Prepared for so many.
I'll help you find that key.
So, he's got perfect aim, more chance of dealing a critical hit, and he has logical investigation skills, strong ranged attacks, strong initiative. His traumas are cigarette addict, daydreaming, and inaccurate. Okay, so what's with the crypt now? Still can't. Can I interact? Yes. I found the office key.
There's a key on this mobile.
My files say Tillinghast has no children. If that's true, why would she need a nursery?
Wilhelmina did always dote on other people's children. I suspect she often wished she had some of her own.
Oh, I can't
You know,
say it isn't
considering the fact that that lady screamed in panic
gossip.
a couple of minutes ago, we're really taking some time to discuss her interior design and choice of furniture. So let us now open the door. Maybe I should. Can I switch my character? I can't. So let us now unlock the door. You will encounter... I accidentally clicked that. Oh my god, it is a guy with a big collar.
An intruder. How many people can I expect to break into my house today?
Man, that lady is a hoot.
Who are you?
Listen, pal. You've got some explaining to do. Come then. I have just the explanation you deserve.
Alright, so let's do some combat then. Combat is turn-based. Every character acts one after the other without time constraints. The order of each attacker is based on their initiative. Roll at the start of combat and is displayed at the top of the screen on the initiative bar. So we've got a little bit of Dungeons and Dragons going on. And a bit of Darkest Dungeon, I guess. Each character has 5 action points. Each action has a specific action point cost. Once validated, an action cannot be undone, except for movement. There are 3 types of weapons: melee, ranged, and spellbook. Each investigator has a different aptitude with the various weapon types. This aptitude will affect the action point cost of the attack. Hey, we've got the detective guy. So I just met this guy and he said something threatening, so let's shoot him in the face. That went well. Once you're out of action points or want to end your turn with specific investigator, you can select the end turn action. Is there anything I can do in Overwatch, right? Yeah, I'm prepared to attack. That moves within their weapon's range. Well, whatever. Okay, so now is the professor. So let's attack him with the knife. How do I move? Oh, I move. No. This is kind of weird. So I click the move button. No. Okay, so I'm trying to actually move. So I figured I'd press the move button, but it says it confirms my position. I cannot... Can I maybe... You know what, I'm just gonna confirm my position. I can't confirm my position. So... I really don't know how to move, which is amazing. I cannot move with the buttons. Okay, so now... Oh, yeah. Okay. I've got it. I'm so happy. And now I am gonna stand in front of him and I can't do anything because I need one more action point that I have. So let's do an Overwatch as well. After all the characters have had their turn to attack, the Memphis clock builds up. Be on your guard. Okay, so there is no time constraint, but I need to finish in a certain amount of turns. Let's see if there's friendly fire by shooting at the guy who's standing right behind my other character. That was a little bit of overacting, but what do I know?
We'd better have a look inside.
But maybe let's take a look at this before. A table. Move. Let's move it to the professor. Let my professor use the bandage. Yes, that is exactly how you use a bandage. We all have seen that before. And now we are gonna go into that. Okay, so let's reload my weapon. I unlocked the door.
Who in blazes are you?
What happened here? Is that...
Wait. That's me. That is...
That's Professor Tillinghast, all right. She won't be telling me much anymore.
We need to stop them.
Alrighty. So I'm losing sanity because I'm seeing a corpse, I guess. So I think I'm gonna shoot that guy. And I one-shot him. I figured I would shoot him and wound him, and then put the professor into Overwatch. And now the problem is that the professor won't be able to move. So let's confirm that. And oh, I can't even use, yeah. Overwatch takes 3 points. My bad. Let's enter turn. Oh, Professor. Or maybe I should use my fists to save some ammunition. Damage 7 to 8, that's not too bad. Oh, I can't reach her, so let's shoot. Now it's the professor's turn. He's gonna kill her.
Who were those cloaked figures? This wasn't just.
So what if that fight would have taken 2 more turns? I guess Cthulhu or the other greater ones would have appeared, right? Is that how I'm supposed to read the clock?
To my investigation. We better have a look.
So now it's time to investigate. But the professor needs some rest. Yeah, it was really a lot of drama. So let's take a look. A deep, weeping wound on her abdomen appears to be the cause of death. Judging by the wetness, it appears she was killed recently. You feel the stability of your mind shatters. Sanity check.
Oh, my dear colleague. You deserved far better than this horrible demise.
Despite my age, I had much more to do in life.
This wound on her stomach, it looks like she was knifed.
Okay. Well, there's... I have to move. They don't auto-move when I click on something that's too far away. A large glyph that has been painted on the floor, apparently in blood. You're certain Professor Tilling was deliberately killed above it. What you aren't certain of is why.
What's this weird symbol drawn on the floor? Is that blood?
My nice, clean floor, ruined.
Professor apparently doesn't read a lot of, like, crime novels or something.
That looks like some kind of cult symbol. This ain't a garden variety burglary.
Yeah, well, that's surprising. I thought it was those famous rope-wearing, red rope-wearing triple burglars. So, the game just saved, and I am gonna close this little session. So far my impression, it's the game is trying to be a little silly. I'm more amused by some of the dialogue and some of the writing. It's like, hey, I hear the scream, let's see. Well, let's first wonder why she's got a crib in her room. Oh, let's not forget to check on the lady who was screaming. But I'm sure I'll try this a little more. That was my first impression. I got it for like, I don't know, $3 or $5 during the Lovecraft sale. So, you know, if you're interested, maybe wait for another sale, check it out. I may do another video on this one. And I thank you for watching and see you next time. Bye-bye.